So afterwards, Elliot has a breakdown. You know, he's screaming and yelling. And then our reporter,
that because he loses?
Yeah, our reporter. I'm just going through. Yeah, something goes on. I don't even know.
Okay.
Our reporter decides to get in a cab with Elliot and interview him.
Well, there's a
Elliot starts freaking out that the reporter. This is all legit, but that the reporter has been leaving him harassing phone calls and harassing him. And the reporter's like, well, I think I called you once. There's a whole thing going on. And by the end of the report, Elliot jumps out of the taxi cab they're in, opens the door. The cab,
it's moving.
I don't know. It stopped. The cab gets hit by another car. The whole door gets taken off. Oh. And Elliot jumps out of the cab and runs away.
He laughs like De Niro in Cape Fear. He's maniacal.
Yeah, I heard there was a maniacal laugh involved.
And this is all captured. For your... I don't even know if I have it anymore.
Oh, you have to have it now.
What did I do with it, Gary? Oh, here it is. H100 News. There we go. All right. This is in it. It's a fairly long report, but it's compelling as hell.
He does a great job, the reporter, I have to say. And he's got balls of steel.
The news director, this woman, Liz, says to me, I told him to not go in the cab with Elliot. It's too dangerous. And he disregarded.
Went anyway?
He went anyway with Elliot.
Wow. And she told him definitely don't go in the apartment.
Right. She would not let him up in the apartment.
Because he was headed towards Elliot's apartment, right?
She said, do not go into Elliot's apartment.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
This is Howard100 News. I'm Ralph Howard.
And I'm George Flowers. Our top story. Stern whackpacker Elegant. Elliot Offen certainly gives new meaning to the label whackpacker. Elliot was in a Manhattan courtroom fighting to stay in the apartment he owes back rent on. Back rent to the tune of $20,000. Howard100 News reporter Steve Langford was also there, and his presence touched off a firestorm inside that courtroom, then spilled out into the streets of New York. Here's Steve now with the exclusive story that can only be described as bizarre.
Howard100, world exclusive.
I'm sorry, where are we going, Elliot? I have to make a stop at Midtown, then we're going to the Mondrian, right?
Let's see, where do you want to go, Elliot?
We're making a stop, I just said. At
where?
34th, please, sir, and first stop, 34th. 7th Avenue, then the Mondrian, 54th and 2nd.
Just getting in a New York City cab with enervating Elliot Offen on a freezing winter day is enough to make a newsman want to head off to Iraq, where war reporting might be safer and more peaceful.
Couldn't close that window.
No, because I like it ice cold. As a matter of fact, I got to take my jacket off. It's burning hot, right? Only the people that have diabetes and heart disease and cancer are cold, right? You got enough jackets on, right?
Rolling down his window isn't obnoxious enough, so at the next red light, Offen suddenly opens the taxi door in traffic to take off his coat.
You should have some like $100 bills to induce me to give you this interview. You should be paying me for the interview, right? Everybody pays Elegant, right?
Howard100 News has just covered the latest in Elliot Offen's battle with his New York landlord. A housing court judge ruling Offen will be evicted December 1st if he doesn't leave before. Offen tells the judge that this Howard100 News reporter has been harassing him with phone calls. 15, he claims. In fact, only 2 calls were made to Offen.
What's your first name? All kidding aside. Steve, and your last name? I know you're going to give me a phony name because you don't want to be brought up on charges, but...
Elliot.
What's your last name? Don't give me all the circuitous... You like that word? Digressive double talk? What's your last name? Serious.
The same last name it was last time.
Well, what is it? What is it? Don't tell me the last
Langford.
time. How do you spell it?
Langford.
Do you have an ID for that?
I just showed you.
You know, you flashed me something. I don't know what you flashed it in 1 second. Come on, Heavy. You know better than that. Can I look at it? Can I hold it? Right?
No,
right? Right. You want to hold it 10 feet away from me. I can't see that. You're covering it up with your fingers, right?
This Howard100 News reporter is heading to Elliot Offen's apartment for 2 reasons. To see what on earth it looks like, and to listen to Offen's alleged evidence that this reporter called Offen's apartment 15 times. The taxi ride to Offen's place is a real trip.
The poor taxi driver needs a little peace.
Oh, come on. You're paying for the cab. We'll get another cab, right? No, he doesn't need peace, right? I'm the star, right? I'm on worldwide television. You're following me, right? Because whatever I do, like when I my ass, right? You like those words? Profanity, right? Everybody wants to know about it, right?
It's my next question about why Elliot would claim to object to the attention from Howard 100 News that makes Offen go thermonuclear.
Well, Elliot, if you're a star...
Not if. What do you mean if? What do you mean brain dead? What do you mean I'm on worldwide television with your boss, with Stern? What do you mean if?
So,
brain damaged, brain defective, right? Brain dead, brain deficient, right? Yes, Steve.
Elliot, if you're a star...
Not if, retard. Recall, reject.
At this point, it seems like a good time to call the boss, Howard 100 News Director Liz Aiello, to let her know where we're going with this story.
Liz, I just wanted to let you know where I am. I'm in the cab with Elliot. He's loud as usual. He wants me to go to his apartment to see evidence of 15 harassing phone calls.
From you, Steve! From you!
From me, so
As the boss proceeds to tell me...
By the way, this guy Steve is really brave because who would go to Elliot's apartment?
I wouldn't go anywhere near them.
Well, Liz said, Steve, you are not to go in the apartment.
It just isn't worth taking the risk of going to Offen's apartment. Elliot takes a moment to yell into the phone to praise the work I'm doing.
Liz, do you realize, whoever you are, that this is a complete flunky, a complete nobody, a beef stew. A complete beef stew, right? Well, then call her up and get out. Just pay the cab fare, right? Just call it off, right? Call it off, right?
what I'll do is I'll tell Elliot. I'll tell you in a minute, but I'll ask him, if he does have evidence of these 15 phone calls that we've made that have harassed him.
I just told you I did. All open and shut, airtight, ironclad, right? Black and white.
I'm trying to listen to Liz.
I don't care what you're trying to do, right, Steve? Steve, as I would say to you in the street vernacular, I don't care if you live or die, Steve, right?
Liz,
Right?
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Bye-bye. Right, bye-bye.
Steve, how's that? How's that gangster line? I don't care if you live or die, right? Steve, isn't that great? I don't care, Steve, if you live or die. That's gangster talk, right?
Elliot Offen, armed with shtick that would make Don Rickles cringe, is a character much better experienced on radio than face-to-face. Nice talking to you, Elliot. Good luck finding an apartment to rent.
Well, listen, Elliot, I think we're going to pull over.
I figured that. Steve, I told you were a yellow, gutless, rat. Didn't I tell you? Yes. Just pay the cab, Steve.
Okay, Elliot.
Because I'm getting out.
Send us the evidence.
Laughing hysterically, Offen exits the cab, opening the door in traffic without even bothering to look, practically getting killed. Luckily for him and unluckily for the cab driver, the back door is now a crumpled mess. We can only imagine what his apartment looks like. For Howard 100 News, I'm Steve Langford.
And despite the danger, Howard 100 News will continue to cover this really strange saga. And if armed marshals are forced to show up at Elliot's apartment, rest assured, we will be there as well.
Oh, I love it.
I said this should... Oh, that's great.
That's a great report, isn't it?
Oh, I could hear it all over again.
No, did you not hear that when it aired?
No.
Yeah, I was riveted.
This guy, he's a reporter, isn't it? This guy's calling him a retard.
Yeah. How's my Howard 100 News team? I give him a round of applause.
Very
great.
good.